Ciao a tutti, sono Luca Martelli, un inviato di Giornalisti nell'Erba. Siamo oggi qui a Perugia per il Festival Internazionale del Giornalismo. Oggi andremo ad intervistare Matthew, uno dei giornalisti freelance più famoso al mondo e vincitore del Premio Pulitzer.
Hi, we are journalists in Erba and we want to do a short interview.
Of course.
You won the Pulitzer.
It was my team that won it. Because if you say it like that, it's like
You are in the
no,
team as
yes,
well.
no. It was where a lot of people.
Yeah. It's the dream for the journalist. Do you have any advice for young journalists like us?
Oh my God, that's such a responsibility. I don't know, things were very difficult for me when I was starting. Even though I had the experience of growing up with my mother who was a journalist, because it's very difficult to get work in journalism. But I'm also a programmer. I've worked in software engineering since I was a teenager, and I sort of contributed that. And that's how I got my start in journalism, because I started working with data and that kind of thing. So I guess, like, from my own experience, it's use what you're passionate about and sort of apply that to journalism. Of course, this doesn't work with everything, but like, I know there are people who, for example, are artists and now they work in journalism by making really cool and intuitive, really well-designed visualizations that make it easier to communicate the essence of what we're doing. And there's room for all kinds of people in journalism, really. It's not just about, like, calling people, and that's the core of it, maybe. But what I've learned is that it's like there's a lot of room for people who come from all different kinds of backgrounds. My mother was an archaeologist, for example. So I don't know. Also, even like when things seem really bad, you know, when it seems like you're having no effect at all, it's really important that you keep doing the work. And age is no barrier. Almost all of the people on my team at ICIJ, I mean, at the time I was 29 years old, and most of my colleagues were like 25, 26, 24. You know, we were all quite young. So it's really, I think, young people who are doing a lot of innovative work in journalism right now. So don't let it be a barrier. You can be just as effective as everyone else.
Thank you. Another question: what are the risks of being a freelance journalist?
That in most situations you don't have the backing of your institution. You're on your own. The only support you have comes from organizations that support freelance journalists, like the Rory Peck Trust, for example. But most of the time you're on your own, that's the problem. It makes the work more difficult, I think. But on the other hand, it gives you more freedom, obviously, to do the kinds of stories you want to do. Sometimes being freelance is the only way to do that kind of work. It can be more fun, too.
How the Maltese people reacted after the murder?
I think most people were shocked, but most of the population was in deep shock. It caused a kind of national trauma that's going to take like 1 or 2 generations to heal. But I think also people realized how bad the situation was. Because while my mother was alive, people were saying, Daphne is still writing, so things are fine. But the reality is that it wasn't. Like, they used her as a sort of barometer to test how things were in the country. But when she was murdered, I think people realized, like, finally, that things are really, really that bad.
Okay. Thank you. And the last question. After that, I will pay your lunch.
Don't worry.
Do you think that the governments want to hide the information about pollution, just like your mother's murder?
I mean, well, yes, because often pollution is linked to abuses within the government.
Yes.
If someone is polluting on a grand scale, like if companies are dumping their waste, I know that this is a big problem, especially in southern Italy, where companies dump toxic waste on public land, and the people living next to it end up with all kinds of diseases. I think there's a village in Italy or a town in Italy where the people are actually suing the state for allowing this to happen. There is corruption in that too, because to enable impunity for that kind of dumping, you need to corrupt the bodies of the state. And then there are also human rights abuses, because you have to stop people talking about it. So yes, I mean, it's linked to a lot of this, especially in Italy.
And in your opinion, what we can do to resolve it?
What my family and I have been saying is that the EU needs to create mechanisms or structures that have judicial authority over people within the member states, so that when prosecutors in Italy or prosecutors in Malta, Cyprus, wherever, are not prosecuting people who are corrupt or who are members of organized criminal networks, then at least there will be another level, there will be another check. There will be prosecutors at the European level who can step in. We don't have this right now. Everything is left up to the national authorities. When the national authorities have been completely compromised and captured in the same way that they have in Malta, you are not going to have justice. You need some international authority to step in.
Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure.